Hello everybody, my name is Kyle Fannin. I promised a more in-depth tour of my Audio Engineer's workbox that I just created out of an Apache 5800 rolling carry-on case from Harbor Freight. So let's get this thing out of the way and let's get started. Alright, so let's get started. This is my Behringer Ultra-G DI box. This is a model GI 100. So this model can be powered by a 9-volt battery or phantom power, which is what I like about it. It features a 2-stage pad up to 40 dB, so 2-stage by 20 dB and 20 more dB. So I like that. We have a clip light here, so we can tell if our signal is too hot and we need to apply the dB or the pads. We have an input for your instrument, and we have a direct link to a cab. I like to use this to extend guitar cables, since we shouldn't have over 20 feet of cable. You can plug 20 feet into here, 20 more feet out of here to link to your guitar amp. Or you could send this to a cab so that a guitarist can use their amp still as their monitoring system, and we can use the XLR output to the mixer. So you can use this for like reamping and record a clean signal and record a signal from a a clean signal through the mixer with the XLR and mic their cab up too. So that we can get both of those, their tone and ours. Then we have a virtual cab simulator, 412 virtual cab sim. We have a ground lift to eliminate ground noises, and our XLR output. This runs on 9-volt, as I said, or phantom power, which is what I like. So that is the Behringer Ultra-G DI box. Next, let's move on to the Sound Tools Sniffer Sender. So this is a cable tester. Basically what this here does is a cable tester and a tracer, is what I like to say. So what this does is you'd connect this to two parts of an XLR cable, so your male and female ends. And when this connects through, it's going to tell you if your XLR cable is wired correctly. So if we connect these two together, there are your 3 lights, and it comes with this little card that tells you the wiring code, or the light code. So this is going to tell you if it's wired correctly, which obviously this is, but if you run it through a cable, it may be reverse ground or a lifted ground or something like that, and in that case it needs to be fixed. This is the part with the battery, the sender, and this is the part with the LED light code as I throw it across the room. With the LED light code, so it is the sniffer. I think I said that correctly. So, anyways, that's a pretty cool device. By tracer, I mean that you could plug this into a snake. This can also be powered, this can be replaced with phantom power at the board, and then you can use this to sniff out the phantom power. So if I didn't know where my input was on the stage, I could turn on phantom power on the board and go through plugging this into inputs to see if I can find where that input is. So it becomes a tracer too. It's kind of a multi-purpose tool. So I like that a lot. Dave Rat has a lot of good stuff. If you've never heard of Dave Rat, you should definitely check him out. He is the sound guy for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So he's got stuff on YouTube that's awesome. So iPod Classic, 1st gen. My buddy gave this to me. It had a hard drive issue. I actually took it apart and unplugged the hard drive and plugged it back in, and it started working. He said I could have it because I'm the sound guy and I love stuff like this. So I just use this for playback. Pretty simple how it works. I'm sure everybody knows. It's got a charging port, headphone port, another USB-C cable there so we can put some stuff in. I believe that's what that is. We got a screen lock. I'm sure everybody's used one. The scroll wheel, battery's dead. All that stuff. I use this for playback, and you can set them up on your computer to be used as a portable hard drive. So, or an external hard drive, I guess. So I could put show files or something on it if I wanted to do that, or just play my music off of it. Want something rugged, something small to carry, easy to carry, that is not my phone, so I don't have to leave that at the console or wherever it may be, and have the chance of people taking it. Here's my decibel meter, or not decimal meter, geez, my multimeter. This multimeter is a pretty old one. My dad had it when he went to school as an electrician. So it has a little stand here, so you can see what you're working if you're working on a bench. But I like this because it's simple, it's digital, it's got everything you need, just has this wheel. The cables are in another bag I'll show you in a minute. But I use this mainly for continuity, to test through cables and stuff. Works great for that, obviously. So that does everything I need it to do. So next, I'm going to get to my decibel meter. So this decibel meter is a Pyle PSPL 25, I believe that is. Yep. Pyle PSPL 25. I said that wrong on the last video, but anyways, this has a power button here. This has A and C weighted ratings, decibel ratings. This has a fast and a slow response rating. This also has a high and a low decibel reading. So it says right here what the high and the low frequency responses are, and it tells about the A and C weighted and the fast and slow weighted response. It tells about all that stuff right there. On the side here, it has a backlight for the screen, and it has a max peak hold. This is just a windscreen on here that comes off, so you can take that off, but leave that on there so there's no affected noises and no dust gets down in your microphone. So it has a place right there where it can be like hung on a wall or some sort of mount, if you will. So there we go. Next here is the LetraTag label maker that I've labeled all of my stuff with. Audio-wise is my branding, if you will. So this is my label maker that I use to do all that. It's a Walmart label maker. You turn it off and on right there. You can punch in all your stuff here, just like a keyboard, backspace, space, numbers, letters. You can do symbols, different things. Once you print, the tag comes out of the side here, and it's got a little cutter that cuts the tag off. You can see in there how much paper you have left. There's your printer cartridge. It's a pretty nice deal. Runs on AA batteries, like 4 of them. So yeah, I like this a lot to label all my stuff. Really helps in audio world, and I do a little bit of messing around with IT too, so it kind of helps with that, So the next thing is my cable tester. So this cable tester is a let's see. Gotta find where I wrote this down. It is also a Pyle unit. Okay, it is a Pyle PCT40. Okay, better look there. I'll do some better videos on some of these items. Maybe this. Maybe I'll show you some more on the sniffer sender. Maybe I'll show you more on this unit here. But basically, this is a cable tester. This is a big old bulky thing. I wish I would have done a little smaller, but this does about everything. It's got speak on, 3-pin XLR, 5-pin DMX XLR, whatever you want to call that, DMX probably, BNC 1/4 inch, whatever that is, some sort of special MIDI SG, I'm not sure. Some sort of other cable there. And then it's got some cables on the front as well, RJ45, Ethernet, USB, and some other big speak-on connectors, like for mass cabling or something. But basically, here's the other side that they come out. So all your female on this side, male on this side. Well, retrospect, you know. So basically, if you say an RJ45 has 8 pairs of 8 cables, 4 pairs, 8 cables. So you plug your RJ45 Ethernet cable in there, and then these are going to light up 1 and 2, and then you click through 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 8. And if the pairs line up straight down, both lights come on, then they're good. I tested a cable the other day. The 8 and 7 were switched, so it made a little X when you flip between 7 and 8. Down here, you've got test leads, so you can touch a battery to that. I think you can even plug leads into there so you can probe stuff and test from there too. So that's pretty well it. It tells you some information here on the piece. Actually tells you what these are. Says that's a DIN 3P, 5P, 7P, and 8P, so I'm not really sure what that means. If anybody knows, comment down below and let me know. So anyways, and I don't think that's BNC actually. That says phono, so that's like a RCA type connector, not BNC, sorry. So that is my cable tester. It runs on 9 volt. Pretty chunky, sits on the table flat with these little feet. Says pretty well that. So my last piece, sorry I moved the camera there. My last piece is this condenser mic. It is an RTA. Move these items up a little bit here. So this is my condenser mic. This is an RTA mic. It's got a little dust shield on here. This mic clip, which is really tight, it peeled my label off, and it tore this sticker up a little bit, which I don't like. But this is a Behringer ECM 8000. Let me make sure I got that correct. ECM 8000, yep. Behringer ECM 8000 condenser mic. This is used for room analysis, but you can also use it to record instruments, and it works pretty good for that. So I like to carry that around for room analysis. So that is, well, so there, like I said, I carry some earplugs because things get loud and you want to protect your ears. Once you've got some mixing done, you can put them in and, kind of save yourself. I like these black gel pens, so I carry a few of them. They work pretty good. Ticonderogas, as I mentioned, the best pencil in the world. It even says that on the package. And a Sharpie marker for labeling stuff along with this guy. So that's everything in the top of the box. Let me get situated and move this stuff out of the way. And I will be back to show you what's in the bottom part of the box. Alright everybody, so I'm going to start with the craziest part of this box. This case. This case came from Harbor Freight, just a cheap plastic case. They have like a screw organizer. It actually had pieces in it that organized it into smaller squares, but I took all those out and put them somewhere. Anyhow, let's get started here. So I tried to organize it, which there's a lot of stuff in here, but I tried to organize it like XLR stuff, quarter-inch stuff, quarter-inch, and 3.5 millimeter or 1/8 inch, and some odds and end things here. But there's just so much stuff; it's hard to get in there. So let's go through this side, and we'll just work our way over, I guess. So this is one of the cheap little Walmart deals. It's a 3.5 millimeter splitter. Okay, so here is a 1/4 inch splitter. Again, another cheap thing. That's a 1/4 inch TS tip sleeve. Here is a 1/4 inch 3.5 millimeter. All these are cheap Walmart jobs. Here is a 3.5 millimeter splitter. Just a different type like that one. So those are splitters for 3.5. Here's our trusty iPod dongle, 3.5 to Lightning. Here is a small 3.5 millimeter aux cable, 3.5 millimeter to TRS, 1/4 inch, 3.5 millimeter barrel pass through if you need to join two cables together, another 3.5 millimeter to 1/4 inch TRS stereo. And this is a weird little thing, but you never know when you might need it. A TRS, 3.5 millimeter TRS to 3.5 millimeter TRS, male to male. Strange. Anyways, that's everything in that box. Let me put it back in. Just real quick here. Whoop. Okay. So in this, I keep this little iRig thing. My uncle gave me a long time ago. So it has a, I believe that's the headphone port right there. So you can plug your headphones in here and then plug this in your phone. Back before the days of the dongle. Now you got to use the dongle if you're an iPad user, or iPod user. iPhone user. I'll get it right one of these days, guys. We're going to plug this into the dongle, plug some headphones in here for monitoring, and then you can plug a guitar in here or a microphone, anything like that. Here recently, it's kind of cool. I've been using the small 3.5 millimeter cable, my dongle, and a 3.5 millimeter to 1/4 inch adapter to create a little device that I can plug into my phone, and then I can plug this side into a computer or something like that and capture audio from the computer onto my phone. So if I'm making like a Snapchat and I want professional audio, I just cobble this up as my interface to my phone, and I can record audio straight from my computer or from like my headphones or something like that to the Snapchat video. I don't know why I'm trying to put that back in there. So this is a lot of like RCA type stuff. So here's a RCA stereo to a RCA stereo jack, I guess. A lot of weird things in here. Another stereo RCA to mono something or other. Here's a RCA pass-through, RCA to 3.5 millimeter, I believe that is, mono, RCA barrel pass-through, RCA barrel pass-through. Those come in handy if your RCA cable's just not long enough, but you have two. That's great. That's why I created this little box here. It may look random, but this stuff has saved me countless times when I tell my my partner to go get that box. This used to all be in a backpack. I'll show you in a little bit. This used to all be crammed in a backpack, and I'd tell my buddy to go get my backpack, and I'd start digging through the front pocket and pull out something random and save the show. So here's a lot of XLR females to female. I believe I have about 5 of these there. Here's XLR male to male. I have 5 of those. They came in packs. I'll link in the description. Try to. So here is a 1/4 inch female to XLR male cable. I've got a couple of those. I tried to make pairs at least. These came in 5s, but I tried to at least make pairs so that I had stereo if I needed them. And then I also did, here's a mono female XLR to male 1/4 inch. And then down here in the bottom, I have 2 TRS 1/4 inch to Male XLR. I have 2 of them, and I have 2 TRS. That's a little loose. 2 TRS Male 1/4 inch to Female XLRs. Like I said, I tried to keep pairs, so if I had to do stereo, that was absolutely possible. All this was jumbled in there. I tried my best. Everything is nicely labeled again. Here's a USB hub, so you connect power to one side, and you can connect your USB to the other side into the computer, and then we've got 4 USB ports. So that can be a saver whenever you're using your interface and a mouse, whatever you're using. Ground lift adapter, like I said before, I do use this for testing, and it can save a show, although I hate to admit that. Sometimes if there's just bad grounding, there's bad grounding. There's nothing you can do, especially not on a cheap, budget, which is what I am, on a budget. These are the adapters that go with my multi-power strip, so I'll put that with that later. I'll actually leave it out here. So that goes with my multi-power strip. You just plug these onto it, and then it can make, it's a power adapter, I guess, power brick. So it will make any of these ends on that power adapter, so you can adapt to things like this. So if I didn't have a power brick for this, I can just plug my multi-power brick into here, and then I can switch the voltage and stuff on that and power this USB hub without the power brick. So keep that over there, and I'll put the brick with it when I find it. So there's these pieces, iPod power brick, iPhone power brick, anything USB really. Got a USB stick, always good for show files. Got this cool little thing, like I said, got a lot of random stuff, but you never know what's going to be a show saver. So this is the old 30-pin connector for iPods, this boy right here, to the new Lightning connector. So you could plug this into your phone and charge it with the charger for the iPod Classic. Why you'd want to do that, I don't know, but I got the iPod Classic charger, so hey, if I ever run out of Lightning cables, I can still charge my phone. Down in here, we've got a banana plug speaker thing. I only got one of those. And then I've got this banana plug type deal, which is cheapy, but stereo. So, like I said, things that'll save the show. It may seem random until you need it. So, that's a good way to think of it. So, that's everything in that box. I knew that was going to take a while, but anyhow, let's put that over there. Let's put this here for now. Let's go through this, because this is going to be the next unorganized thing. This is I need to work on doing all this a little better, but give me some feedback. Let me know what you think. This is a bag from Sound Tools. Came with the sniffer sender. Sorry, I moved the camera. Came with the sniffer sender and shirt in this bag. Maybe a couple other things. Can't remember. So, firstly, this is all video stuff, and I'm not going to go through every piece of this, but I've got it all Velcroed together with this hook and loop material. I'll show you later. Let's just go ahead and let's do that. So, we've got, again, random stuff, but it's video stuff. So this is video RCA to 3.5 millimeter video cable. We've got, this is a good one to have if you're a Mac user. Mini display to VGA. I need a mini display to HDMI would be nice, but I have HDMI on my laptop, so I haven't ran into that problem yet. There's some component to 3.5 millimeter TRS. That is not a TRS, that's got a bunch of them, but this is like a component, again, RCA to 3.5 millimeter, and an HDMI to VGA with audio included, since HDMI supports audio. So we have to run separate VGA since VGA doesn't support. So run this hook and loop material just to keep that kind of somewhat tamed. Okay, like I said, so there's my cable. I put a tag on this as well. I tried that little hack with a little spring to save this. Don't know how much it's actually doing, but whatever. Phone charger. You can use with that brick in there. Here's the 30 pin for the classic iPod there. Let's see, what else do we got? What other goodies? Here's a charger for a battery pack that I don't actually have anymore because it exploded. But that is a universal cable. Really short, but we'll keep it. Here are the leads for my meter over here, my tester, multimeter. There's a piece of strip, Velcro or something. Here's my iPod brick, or my iPad brick, excuse me. And that comes off so you can adapt it to a longer cable and stuff. So there's that. Charge phones with it too, whatever you need to. It's anything USB really, I guess. Okay, here is my multi-power brick deal. Like I said before, you can change the poles on there. So whatever you want the pole pattern to be, you can change the, we always have problems finding that, the voltage selector here. You can change that. You can plug a USB in here. And then you can also, like I said, change out all the tips. So for any of these, this is a helpful tool. Really, really a helpful tool. I really like that. So, anyhow, got any other fun tools? We got this. This is a VGA to DVI. Never know what you're gonna need, especially when you can help the you know, the video guys out too a little bit, or you know, I do AV stuff too, or you know, video stuff. So sometimes I like to make videos and like to live stream stuff, and you know, never know where you're gonna need this stuff. So it's good to always have it on hand. As like I said, you never know what you're gonna need, and you can save the show with it. So let's put that down there. Okay, so the next piece, let's go with this. Harbor Freight Quantum Headlamp, as I showed you before. Super bright, just blinded you. You're welcome. So there's that. It's a headlamp. Fits really well. Battery pack here in the back. It is adjustable, so you can pan in and out, I believe. Yeah, you can tighten the group or make it wider. So great thing to have for hands-free working. Good stuff. Do I even need to say it? 9 volt, 9 volt, 9 volt, 9 volt, 9 volt. Gotta keep these things. This is just a little package that some rechargeable 9 volts came in, but I put these in it. But these are actually used, but they still got some juice in them. So they are Duracell Pro cells. Keep them. Always keep them on you. Here's a little mag light I put in my box to replace some bigger flashlights. I wanted just some sort of little pencil light. This thing is not very bright, but hey, in a dark theater, it probably work pretty good. I'm not going to knock it until I give it a try. Maybe some new batteries would even make it better. So, anyways, here's the last bag. We're on the home stretch, and then there's a few small items I'm going to show you after that are elsewhere and in use. So, some things like my backpack and my iPad holder that is holding my iPad right now. Maybe a few other things, I don't know. So I keep these. I need to downsize this somehow. Maybe I could rip the top of the box off. Anyways, just some cable securing things that got the little nail in them so you can secure it to the wall or stud or whatever, just to hold on to your cables. Make sure you're not getting anything ripped away, especially if you're an installer. I dabble in a little bit of everything. Zip ties for rack mount gear. Clean your stuff up. Make sure that it's not going to come undone. Here's a non-contact, so this is my toolbox, if I didn't say that, but so here's a non-contact voltage meter. I think the battery died because it was chirping, but so basically you just can touch this in an outlet and it's going to tell you if you've got power to the outlet. You can run it along a power cable and it's going to tell you if you've got power without having to check it with a voltage meter or something like that. But you know, this is great. I like this. So if something is not powering on, I can wave it on the cable and find out if I'm getting power, or touch it to the outlet and find out if I'm getting power and if that's the issue. So along that line is this outlet checker. You plug this in, it's got a wiring code on it, shows you on the front what the wiring code is. This is just a Walmart brand. It'll tell you how the outlet is wired. I use this to check for ground if I've got a bad hum. As I mentioned before, you always need small screwdrivers, little things on microphones and microphone clips. You can loosen and tighten with these. Guitar stuff, always need those two small guys. Here's for guitar stringing. So you wind your guitar strings on there if I ever have to change one of those, which I have at church before. And zip tie cutters to cut these awful things off, because one time I cut my finger really bad with a utility knife trying to cut a zip tie, so not anymore, I won't. This little case kind of works for that. It was originally for my decibel meter, but I throw all this stuff in it because it's a good place. It actually has this little thing I can shove some of the stuff in to keep it from all bouncing around in here. So it keeps it pretty organized. Let me just throw all this back in here. Like I said, I need to work on this a little more, maybe get a little more organization to it, because as you see, unreliably, can I get this back in here, if I'm even doing that in frame, but being a pain in the hind end, but we'll get there. So I think that's all still in the frame. And then we're on our home stretch. As for the items in the box, sorry, I keep pulling the camera. I got my mic cable up there so it'll not be in the frame. But so next, pretty self-explanatory, tape. We got all kinds of different stuff. We got electric tape. We've got frog tape, which you saw I've had a lot of cables, or a lot of adapters and stuff, like marketing frog tape. Those are things I couldn't fit my tags on, so I just like marked them in frog tape, because I've done that for a while now, so I know that frog tape is something that I see, and I've never seen anybody else do it, so I know that frog tape is something universal that I use, and I've never seen anybody else do it, so if I see that frog tape on there, I know it's mine. Masking tape, so we can tape boards, tape things down, whatever you need to do. Gaff tape, pretty explainable. I've got my my brand on the inside. I don't know if you can see that, but I've got the brand on the inside of all my tapes too. That's a little excessive, but here's the hook and loop material that I was talking about. This stuff's awesome. It's not Velcro, but it just comes in these long strips. The first one I bought was like that big around. This one was a lot smaller. It was a little bigger than this, but it was still smaller than the first one I bought. But this stuff, I put it on all my cables, as you see. And there's a special way then you can cut it. I don't know if I have any of these done that way. No, these are all just coming right off. But there's a special way you can cut this. If anybody's interested in that, There's actually a video online about that, but there's a special way you can cut this stuff to where you can attach it to the cable so that it will not come off. I'll show you on my MacBook charger when I get to my backpack, but there's a special way you can do that so that it won't come off of your cable every time, and you'll have one floating around in this bag like I had. So, that is everything in the case, so let me get situated to show you my backpack, and it's only got a few items, so I'll show you that, and that's about it. Alright, here's the final stuff, and I'm going to show you what's in my backpack that I will also probably take along with the Apache case. This is what everything used to be stuffed into. As you see, I've migrated this way a little bit. There's some stuff still over that way, and I'll show you a sweep across it all when I'm done. So this is what everything used to be stuffed in. All those adapters and things. It's now cleaned out. But I'm going to show you what's in here, and then what's some other stuff I've got off to the side that I'm not necessarily got in this box and I don't really have room for, but that I could carry along with it. There's some other things that would be accommodating, so here I'm going to dive into this. Let's just leave it laid down. So in here I've got 2 iPads, just got this one the other day, but I figured a lot of boards are digital nowadays. This is a 4th gen, which is kind of old. This is a, I'm not even sure, 6th, 7th, I don't know, but it's got the Touch ID. So anyways, a lot of boards are digital nowadays. A lot of boards are digital nowadays, so I use this one a lot to run boards. I've ran the PreSonus board, and I've ran the PreSonus board, PreSonus 2442, which is a digital board. I've ran the Behringer X32, which is a digital board. I know Midas M32 is a digital board. So a lot of them nowadays can be ran with iPads, on top of other things you can do. But then I also like to live stream stuff, and I don't want my phone to be tied up, or I could use my phone for a different angle. So anyways, I got 2 of these. I can run sound with one, Facebook, social media with another. I can have it up for notes, show logs, whatever I need it for, but, got 2 of those. I'm going to start stacking stuff. I'll spread it out for the final shot. I think that's all I got in there, because I've got the charger and stuff in that box, as you saw before. And then, MacBook. I carry my MacBook around, got Logic Pro 10, I believe it is, Logic Pro 10. I've got Final Cut Pro 10, compressor, all that stuff on here for video editing, audio editing, and recording. So you can record out of the Behringer X32, there went the tape. You can record out of the Behringer X32 and the PreSonus on Capture. PreSonus is Capture, but you can record straight to any audio DAW. And then we can also edit all that stuff on my laptop too. Here is my MacBook charger. As I said before, let's see if I can show you. So this Velcro stuff, I've got it cut to where I can wrap it and attach it to the cable. I'm not even on the frame. There you go. So I've got it cut so it'll wrap around the cable and stay fastened so that I'm not going to lose that every time I unravel this cord. And then I can just put it back up. So there's a video on that on YouTube if you do a little bit of searching. If not, let me know. I'll do a little review of the hook and loop material. Again, if I can get it, hook and loop material. Pretty cool. Nice stuff, nice stuff. So, wrong pocket. Let's just leave that out, actually. So that's everything in there. So now I said I wanted to do a few more things, like some accommodating things, that it would be good to, that would be good to keep with you if you're a sound guy. Things to accommodate instrumentalists, anything that will save the show. This is pretty nice. 1/4 inch. It's a Dean Markley. I believe that's what it says. It's a acoustic guitar pickup. So you just put this in the sound hole of the acoustic guitar. Show saver. Reverb. Guitar tuners. These things are awesome. They got chromatic, violin, bass, ukulele. They tune just about everything. So those are awesome to have. Some other stuff here. Well, guitar pick. Why not? It's small enough. Throw it in that bag. Yeah, somebody says you got to pick. I keep them in my wallet too because I'm a guitarist. I also perform, so some of this stuff would be good for me to carry around. These are Audio Technica M40Xs. They got the spiral telephone-like cable and a straight cable. 3.5 millimeter adapter in there. Can't fit this stuff in the case, but this would be something good to carry for sure. If I could fit this stuff in my backpack now that I don't have all that other stuff in there. AirTurn, Bluetooth, AirTurn Duo, Bluetooth pedal. You can turn pages, scroll. It's a good thing to have. I could probably fire Logic recordings and things with this if I wanted it, but these aren't necessities. These are just extra things. I'm going to take them out of the final shot because they're not actually in my box, but these are just noted things that would be good to have. But DVD drive for my MacBook. Been using that a lot lately, especially if you're doing like a projection or playing a movie. Here is a cable that I built. It is an extension cable for monitor and power, and out the other side, monitor and power. So I have a rare eye disease. I can't see very well, and I've started working at a radio station in Jackson. I'm going to do some videos on, hopefully. But I have a rare eye disease that makes me legally blind, so I can't see very well. So if I use this extension cable, I can bring my monitors closer to me. That helps a lot when I run lights, trying to get the lighting board monitor closer to me. This is the last thing that I put off to the side. Again, I can't carry it because it's so big, and I don't always need something like this, but an MXL large diaphragm condenser microphone. This is a MXL 770. This features a, if I can find it, there's a low cut or a high pass filter, low cut, and it also features a -10 dB. I think this is awesome. Beautiful microphone. Sounds great too, and it's pretty affordable. I believe it was $70, $80, I can't remember. I'll put links to all the stuff that I can find on Amazon in the description. So let me clean all the stuff that is not in my box up, and then I'll be back to do my final paying. You got it going on, I'll be there in a heartbeat. Tell me your favorite song. Alright everybody, so that's pretty well it. As you see, I took out all the stuff that isn't actually in my box. I added this what was holding my phone a little bit ago. The iPad holder, it holds iPads or phones, it expands, so I put that on a mic stand, and then I can put an iPad on it and record Facebook Live. So that's everything in my audio engineer box. So thank you for watching, and hope you have a great day. So if you like my stuff, subscribe, like, share, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. I'm trying to get into making more videos. I'm trying to step up the quality. I do everything kind of on a budget, so I want to try and make some good content for you guys. So let me know if you guys have any ideas or want to see anything else. I'm going to get to maybe do a review on this, maybe a review on this. Let me know what you guys would like to see, if that's something you guys want to see. I also thought about maybe doing some videos on some Logic or something. I'm working on a microphone at one of the theaters. I was going to do a video on that, showing that microphone being refurbished or rebuilt. A piece of it broke. I'm fixing it. So just let me know what you guys would like to see, and I'm going to try to crank out some more content. So here we go. Thanks.
I'm a fool, yeah, I got love blind.